Hey guys, welcome. We're going to do A3 homework. Remember to do that and upload any of our notes we took today. Okay, so our homework is going to be 9 through 12 and question number 15 on this page. 38 through 43. 38 through 43. So these were the ones we skipped the other day. Right? 38 through 43, and then 44 and 45. Okay, so on the other page, 44 and 45. We also need to make sure that we do 15 and 16 in the other section. So we kind of saved those, 15 and 16. Yeah, so we did 17 and 18 for homework last time, and we're going to do 15 and 16. So we need to make sure we get those questions right. We don't want to miss them. So let's do it. Back to question number 9, all the way back here, right? So it says use the trig ratios or angle measurements. So it says A, so I've got a right angle, right? And they asked me to use this as my reference angle. So opposite of A is 5, and opposite the box is the hypotenuse. The last side I'll label adjacent. So my sine of angle A happens to be opposite over hypotenuse. That's my generic formula. And angle A we still don't know. So opposite is 5, and the hypotenuse is a square root of 34. Now we normally don't leave our answer like that, right guys? But we're going to turn it into a decimal anyway. So we're going to have to put that in the calculator. And then remember, what else are we going to do? So I'm going to give myself a little bit more room over here. I'm going to take the inverse sine of both sides. So I'm going to take the inverse sine of both sides because it is an equal sign. So I have to do the same to both sides. So the other side will be this 5 over the square root of 34. And we'll figure that out in our calculator. So on the left of our equation, we just get A, and on the right, we get inverse sine of 5 over the square root of 34. Okay, so let's find out what that is. So what is the square root of 34? I got to figure that out first. So 5.83. So that's 5 over 5.83. Okay. Yeah, 831. So what is 5 divided by 8.3? Wait a minute. What was my number again? Let's do that again. 5.831. Yeah, 5 divided by 5.831. Okay, so that's what I'm taking the inverse sine of. So I make sure my second button is on, and I hit sine to the power of, it looks like power of -1. It's pronounced inverse sine, and I get 59.035. So I'll round that to 59.04. Okay, now they asked me to do the tangent. Well, the tangent of angle A would be my same labels, right? But it's opposite over adjacent. So the tangent of angle A would be the fraction. Opposite is 5, adjacent is 3. Now notice I scooted that over a little bit because, again, I need to take the inverse tangent of both sides. I knew that was common, right? Inverse tangent of both sides. So the left turns into just A, which is what we want to solve for, and the right turns into inverse tangent of 5/3. Okay, so let's find out what 5/3 is and then take the inverse tangent of it. So 5 divided by 3, enter. Let's make sure you hit that second sign. Inverse tangent, 59.04. 59.04. Ah, now that makes sense. That should give me the same answer because angle A is here. So this shows us that we could have either used sine or tangent to solve this question because we actually knew all 3 sides. Now, what is angle B? Well, guys, right? I mean, we could do trig functions here, but I think we'd like to use the shortcut. So we know all these angles add up to 180. So 180 minus the 90-degree angle, you're down to 90. And angle A is 59.04. So angle B would just be the leftover. And again, we've already signed this, so we already know our answer. So what's 90 minus 59.04? 90 minus 59.04. 3096. Okay, and that's my angle B. Now let's take a look at number 15. What do they give us? We have a right triangle, and they'd like angle S. So let's go ahead and make that our reference angle. And I think hopefully your brain's thinking, let's pick sine. So sine of angle S is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of S would be 4 over 10. So scooting this over, yeah, we got to scoot that over, 4 over 10, because we need to do the inverse sine of both sides. All right, so the left side just has our S, which is what we're looking to solve for. And then we need to find the inverse sine of 4 over 10. Okay. So what is 4 over 10? It's 0.4. And the inverse, make sure you hit the second sign, inverse sine of that, 23.58. So that is 23.58 degrees. So what would be T? We could use trig as well, but probably quicker. 180, take away this 90-degree angle. Leaves me with 90, and then take away the 2358. So what does that leave us? 90 minus 2358. 6642. 6642 would be the measure of angle T. Nice work, guys. So what next? 38 through 43. So this one's like 5 we did today, right? We take a rectangle, or a triangle, sorry, and they want me to solve for angle B. So we do opposite, and we don't have anything for our hypotenuse. So we can't actually pick sine or cosine. It looks like we're going to have to put tangent, because this is the adjacent side. Yeah, so the tangent of B, our reference angle, would be opposite over adjacent. So the tangent of B would be 3 over 4. Now let's rewrite that here, right? I need some room to write the inverse tangent, right? So let's take the inverse tangent of both sides, the inverse tangent of both sides, and our fraction that was there a minute ago was 3 over 4. So we want to know in our calculator, which would be 0.75. What's the inverse? B is equal to the inverse tangent of 3 over 4. All right, so 3 over 4, yep, is 0.75. Make sure your second button's on, inverse tangent. 36.87. So 36.87 degrees. What would C be? We could use trig functions, but we're just going to use the triangle sum theorem. This 90-degree angle we take away, and then we take away 3687. So 90 minus 3687. 53.13. 53.13 degrees. That's our angle C. Nice. So looking here at 40, I've got a triangle, right? And they'd like me to think about angle E, so we'll go opposite here. And it looks like nothing is here on my hypotenuse, but I do have something on my adjacent side. So once again, that's what happened last time. I'm hoping you're going to pick the tangent. So the tangent of E is opposite over adjacent. So the tangent of E is, we've got 2 over 6. I should have scooted that over, right? Because I need to take the inverse tangent to both sides. Nice. So what do I have here? On the left, I have E, or the measure of angle E, has to be equal to the inverse tangent of 2 over 6, or 1/3. So what is 2 over 6? That's 1/3. And make sure your second button's on. Inverse tangent, 18.43. 18.43. So the measure of angle E is 18.43. Nice. So what would angle F be? Well, that would just be what's left over from 180. So 180 minus 90 is 90. And we take away 18.43. So 90 minus 18.43. 71.57. 71.57. Cool. We'll do this one. Looks similar, right? They want me to know what's the measure of angle K. So this looks like the opposite, and opposite the box is the hypotenuse. So we're going to pick sine. Sine of angle K is opposite over hypotenuse. So the sine of K is 5/9. Scooting that over a little bit, right? 5/9. Let's take the inverse sine of both sides. So K would tell me the inverse sine of 5/9. Let's find out what that is. So 5 divided by 9, enter. Make sure your second button is hit and the inverse sine. I get 33.75. All right, so K is 33.75. So what would L be? It would just be what's left over from 180. So what is 90? Take away 33.75. What is 90? Take away 33.75. 56.25. 56.25. Check out the next video for the next set of questions.